I'd like to tell you the story of how we came to have high altitude cedar in the Tom Rush Naked Lady. I was visiting one of our favorite wood brokers, and in one room he had 4 pallets of book-matched cedar tops. 3 of them together, all of them marked AAA, and one set aside by itself with HA marked on it. I had no idea what HA was, but I said to him, can we talk about the price of this AAA cedar? And he said, that's not AAA. I said, well, pretty clearly says AAA. He said, no. He said, later today I've got one of the very large guitar companies coming to visit us, and he said typically they want us to sell them AAA tops at AA prices, and they think their buying power somehow entitles them to that big discount. But he said, I can't do that. I'd be out of business. So he said, we compromise. We mark them AAA. They're actually AA. We sell them at AA prices. We make our margin. We stay in business, and they're happy. I said, don't ever do that to me, because I actually look at the wood. And he said, no. He says, they don't. He says, we can get away with it. But he said, no, I know. So I said, what's this HA? He said, that's high altitude cedar. He says, I'll be damned if they're going to even see that. That pallet will be gone by the time they get in here. High altitude cedar is wood that's cut from trees that, as the name implies, are much higher up the hill. They're closer to the tree line. The trunk is much smaller. The grain is much tighter. These trees really have to fight for life, and they don't grow a lot in a season. So the rings tend to be very, very, very close together. You don't get, because we quarter saw the wood, you don't get as much good usable wood out of a smaller tree trunk like that. And it's fairly expensive to send your guys up the mountain to cut this high altitude stuff, so you don't see a lot of it. But I thought, my God, that's exactly what we want for the Tom Rush Naked Lady. So I turned to my agent and I said, buy that pallet. He said, John, we don't even know the price. I said, look, it's your job to get a fair price, but buy it. That's what we're going to use. And that's how it came about that we've got high altitude cedar for the Naked Lady. Strictly serendipity. Had we walked in an hour later, that pallet would have been hidden in the back. Had we walked in a day before, it wouldn't have been there. So in any case, absolutely gorgeous wood. Beautiful looking. It's got a tight, rich, straight grain to it. The sound, the same way that the strings pick up the vibration just on a tap, the wood picks up the vibration from the strings. You get huge projection out of the guitar. When someone better than me is playing it, it actually sounds beautiful. So in a nutshell, or in a long nutshell, if I'm talking too much, that's how we came to have high altitude cedar in the Tom Rush Naked Lady. Hope you have a chance to play one day. I think you'll be more than pleasantly surprised by how it sounds. Thanks.